Charles Moscowitz here. Thank you for joining me. I'm doing a little experiment right now in live streaming not late, but getting toward late at night here in the great city of Boston, the hub of the universe, the Athens of America, the shining city on the hill, where I am a lifelong resident. I've been a veteran radio talk show host in the greater Boston area for off and on for the past 20 years on small stations. And recently, maybe by, I should say, the last 2 years, I've launched programming on YouTube that is now carried by about 15 other live streams. And I've been doing the program at 12 noon Eastern time, my time here in Boston. I am considering launching the program later in the evening as a regular feature. And I'm looking at 10 to midnight, Monday through Friday, Eastern Standard Time, where I expect to live stream on YouTube, my Facebook page, my LinkedIn page, my Twitter page, and several other live stream pages. And the reason that I want to do this, and I'm probably, right now I'm experimenting, but I will probably announce it more officially as to launch on January 1st of next year, is for several reasons, both professionally and personally. Personally, it frees my day up, quite frankly, to do a lot of other things. I'm getting very busy, and it's, and I want to do other functions. But more professionally, as far as radio goes, I think that it's possible that a late night program will be more competitive. It may not be lost in all the noise and the clutter that goes on every day on YouTube and on the other networks, and that possibly I may find a more steady audience late at night from 10 till midnight. This could lead to, in a practical sense, my getting a sponsor or two, my getting a radio station or two carrying the program, because I think that in this day and age, radio stations and others are looking for content, and to do a late night program would put me in a position where I'd be able to offer something unique late at night. But most importantly, the thing that I miss the most about the old-fashioned radio stations that I worked at in Greater Boston is the live experience and getting phone calls from people online and building a community online that, well, in that case, it was as a radio host, where we could really delve into issues and I could get regular callers calling in. We can discuss all sorts of things. And in fact, since I'm here live right now, I might as well give out the phone number, because one of the things that I can do here that I don't think anyone else is doing online with online programming is that I can actually get a call, and you can call in this program just like you would call in a radio program, just like you would call your friend. You can call this program and I can hear you, you can hear me, and we can have a real live conversation that will go out and be heard by my millions and millions of listeners. The number, if you happen to be listening right now, if you'd like to call in, and again, this will be archived, so this is live right now. If it's, right now it's 9:27 Eastern time. So the number here, excuse me, is 617-396-4958. 617-396-4958. Now, I am very technically inept, I will admit, but once I learn the ropes a little bit more, I will be publishing the phone number. It'll be more visible. I can take chat line calls. The only reason I can't do that right now is because I'm afraid if I turn on the chat on YouTube, the sound will overdub. So I need some people who know something about how to do this professionally to advise me in terms of how to overcome that. But as I said, my main goal here is one where I want to have the experience, and I want to share that experience with listeners, of having an online live community every evening from 10 till midnight, where we can discuss all of the issues of the day, where I can bring on guests at this time. And maybe I may be right, maybe I may be wrong to say this, but my sense is that a late night program is going to be a little less censored, a little less political censorship. And quite frankly, that is what's going on right now in this world. That's what's going on online. That's always gone on in the press media and on television and radio. But for a brief, fleeting moment, many of us thought, although not with naivete, that online would have a little bit more freedom in terms of what we can and cannot discuss. Clearly, that is no longer the case. I mean, that became quite clear when, after the events of January 6th, when you had the Capitol incursion, which I have a lot to say about, but I'm going to hold off on that for another day. You had an excuse to censor conservatives, starting with the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, who was removed from Facebook and Twitter. The claim was that he was leading an insurrection. Absolutely ridiculous, complete lie, just an excuse to censor him and his opinions and the movement that he led and does lead. And so I have a lot to say about that, but I understand that this is a taboo topic, that it's difficult to do it. And I'm tired of the censorship, and my hope is that I can build a station that where I maybe can get away with this a little bit more late night. Now, I understand what community standards are. I'm a veteran radio host. I've been doing radio the old-fashioned way for a long time. I know what it is to observe community standards. I know what FCC regulations are, and I have always done that. I've never had a problem in any of the radio stations that I've worked at, and at least not as far as censorship goes. I've had people who don't like what I have to say, for sure, and they've complained to me, but never, no one's ever told me you can't say something. Because I understand how to self-censor. I understand what's appropriate in terms of community standards, and I also understand what's legal. And I observe those standards. So, but what's happened to me and what's happened to many conservatives, including big players like Breitbart, is that they have been, many of them have been outright banned, but others have been put behind a wall in terms of algorithms. I've been told that that's what's happened to me by several people who understand how that works. And that's why my programs aren't growing the way they should. And they would have grown a lot more had that not been the case. So maybe I'm trying to do an end run around that. I don't know. But I do think that maybe doing the show late at night, some of these goons who are doing the censorship may not notice as much. And I can build a live audience where I can offer call-ins and I can offer things that other people on the internet don't offer, and that might lead to people calling in and my building an audience and my having on some controversial guests that might not otherwise be allowed. I also would note that I have a pretty large network of live streams. So if any one of them goes down, I can rely on the others. In fact, here, I'm calling up right now. Where is my list of live streams? I've got, besides YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, uh, LinkedIn, DLive, YouNow, VK, Trovo, Picardo, Podomatic, and Sprecher. iHeartRadio, and then the podcast goes to iTunes, iHeartRadio, Google Play, Stitcher, TuneIn, Listen Notes, Podchaser, Podimo, Owltail, MyTurner, Podtail, Pod Paradise, and SoundCloud. And then I archive many of these programs. Besides, they are archiving automatically on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. I also archive occasionally on Vimeo, Rumble, Minds, and Reddit. So, and I'm expanding those numbers. I mean, maybe, I'm saving and expanding platforms the way some people save stamps and coins. I want to develop such a list of them that if I get taken down on one, I'll be up on another. And I will be able to do that which I've intended to do, which is a live program at best, or at least a pre-recorded and archived program, and to do it consistently at the same time of the day, Monday through Friday, to really build a program. That's been my dream. That is my goal. And that's what I'm trying to figure out how to do. So if you have any comments or thoughts about my wanting to move to the late night, 10 till midnight, please include them on my YouTube channel. Please subscribe to me on YouTube. I'd appreciate that. It's free. You don't have to stay there. You can just subscribe and drop another time if you'd like. But I feel hopeful and optimistic that I will be able to accomplish a live experience with a real interactive community where we can really, really delve into issues and really talk about things that we can do. I listen avidly to Steve Bannon's excellent War Room Pandemic program. I don't think there's a better one right now. There are several podcasts I like. I listen to Newt Gingrich. I listen to Seb Gorka, which is very good. Jack Posobiec is good. I go random. I listen every day to different podcasts. But Steve Bannon, I think, stands out to me as really the leader in terms of action, as he says, action, 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 and agency. And so I'm kind of looking to him and to his program as somewhat of a model, except maybe the difference for me is going to be that I want to take calls. He doesn't take calls. He does everything pre-recorded. And I want to have an interactive program. So that's my goal here. And let me just finish up by saying that as an author, and I've written all of these short books, my latest book, which is now available at Amazon Books and Kindle, is called Sociology for Conservatives, where I lay out a sociological theory that is conservative. I am a student of sociology. I am majoring in sociology. I'm actually going to college at my old age here at Bunker Hill Community College in Boston, and I'm studying and will be getting a degree in sociology. And I'm struck by how liberal sociology not only has been in its history, but still is, as a repository toward developing liberal, left-wing social theories, including critical theory. I get into that in my book, what that is. And that includes critical race theory, critical legal theory. There are all these other critical theories. Conflict theory, which is Marxist, and other left liberal theories. And I think there is room to develop a conservative social theory. My hope is that my short book, my modest book, and I don't claim to be some genius in sociology, might lead to smarter people than I taking this on and developing an entire school of sociology called conservative sociology. And my basic premise here is that sociology lends itself to conservatism because conservatism is the examination of that which is real, that which is normal, that which is natural, and that which is morally right. And that those things, in that sense, conservatism is not an ideology. It strives to be something that identifies normal and real aspects of human nature, aspects of the place for man in the universe. Conservatism believes in God. I would, whatever we call it, a higher authority, a creator of the universe who created something out of nothing, which is a miracle, and who thus gave mankind, who was created, men and women in his image, the ability to reason, the ability to develop abstract knowledge and to develop civilization. And so, therefore, I argue that conservatism is a natural topic to be discussed and studied and analyzed in sociology, and that we ought to look, sociology looks at society, it looks at group identities, it looks at behaviors, it looks at attitudes, and we ought to do that from a conservative perspective because conservatism is true, whereas leftism is not true. Leftism is made up. It's manufactured by the fecund imagination of social theorists. It's not natural. So that's the thesis of my book, Sociology for Conservatives. If you'd like to get a copy, please go to Amazon Kindle or Amazon Books. I think that there are still some free ones available, at least in the Kindle. Usually when you publish a book, they offer that at first. I can't guarantee that. It's not super expensive. But check it out. It's on Amazon Books. I'm also in the process of revamping some of my other books and getting them issued in softcover, and I'm hoping to have all of that done before Christmas. So anyway, I want to thank you for watching. Please let me know what you think in terms of whether or not I should go live Monday through Friday, 10 p.m. to midnight, whether you want to participate by calling in, and whether or not all of us together can develop this great thing, this online live experience. So that's what I'm up to right now. I want to thank you for watching. Charles Moscowitz. My general goal for the launch will be January 1st, but up until then, I might be doing a little experimenting, and you might see me pop up from time to time with guests and with live streams at this time. So thanks for watching, everyone. God bless you. God bless America.